A little bit, just real.
Yes.
Obviously, I don't know if you can answer this, but watching the Panthers, the success they've had the last couple of years, what's it like as alumni? You guys have always said you wanted a team to put you guys in the shadows a little bit.
Yeah, and I think this team has done it in the last 18 months for sure. Like they're really one of the top teams in the East, and it's got to be one of the favorites to at least get to the Cup final again. I think last year they built on a lot of momentum, and this year the new guys that have come in have gelled in nicely, it looks like, and it's kind of fun. Like South Florida is a great place to be when you're a winner. It just really is, and it's good for them.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to. As long as I've been here in ups and downs.
You having fun, Miller?
I've talked to you about it before, but my emotion. You saw NHL Network. You saw the emotions. It was fun. It was fun in the '90s, but I've been tired. I mean, Tom's played for different teams and Ray's different, but for myself, I bounce around from team to team, but never like here. I never had ties to anywhere like I did here. So for me, from that aspect, this became my home. 30 years. I look back, and where I live now is 5 miles from where I stayed at training camp. And it's kind of surreal when you walk by with your wife sometimes, and you're 30 years, 5 miles from where you went to training camp is kind of astonishing for myself. With Fitzy and line mates and Sheps, and we had the time of our lives. It was great. It was awesome back then, but that was then. And for myself and this new team and this new chapter, for myself, it doesn't get much better than to see this finally come to some fruition on the other end of it. It's been a joy for myself, put it that way. I've turned into a fan.
I can answer your question probably more as an executive. They're a very well-structured team. They've got a lot of talent. They've got a lot of hardness. They're disciplined. They're highly competitive. When you can put that all together, you become a Stanley Cup contending team. I would say there's a lot more talent. I don't want to sell Shep, but a lot more talent on this team than we had, but we were highly competitive. We had great goaltending. We were disciplined. We were committed to, how we needed to play to forge forward. And this team does the same thing. You saw last year where they were, where they had to get to, and then where they ended up. Because of that commitment, because of that discipline, because of that, they were connected, they were committed, and they were competitive. So, there's no surprise. I mean, they're always going to be a top team with the talent that they have, but talent's only one aspect of the game. But when you can commit to a system and stick to it, you're hard to play against.
For Tom, just what was it like watching Casey be a part of the run last year? It's just so serendipitous that you both got to kind of experience the same thing many decades apart.
Yeah, I mean, it's, there's only a couple of us who've had their sons play on the same team that we played on, the Stillmans and myself. And it was really special. It was a hard year for Casey, to be quite honest. You don't play many games from the day you get picked up. Loved every moment of it, being here and being part of the group and supporting whatever he needed to do, and obviously getting a chance to play in the Stanley Cup Finals in Las Vegas. And my wife, my family, and I, we actually rented a place down here for close to a week. And we enjoyed it, and I was here as a fan and as an alumni, really rooting on the team that, I spent a lot of time. They played over 1,000 games. Panthers were the team that I played most of them with.
Did you always in the lineup that night I texted you?
No, I was in Buffalo at the combines. I said, I think Casey's playing. I was sitting in the bar going.
I texted him. I said, Casey's in the lineup tonight.
then Billy Zito texted me right after.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. And then just one for Billy, as someone that's been here, the whole time pretty much. Just so much has changed from the early '90s to now with the organization. But the one thing that kind of connects it is the Rats. The Rats are still flying. After every game, when you see the Rats on the ice, do you get nostalgic? Just knowing that that's just been a 30-year thing now.
Yeah, that's a wild story that it stuck that long, that it took off, it was that year and it was banned. Everything was kind of banned after that, so we shut it down. So I guess it's unique with Mellenby and the story with the Beezer and everyone that it got connected and stayed. It's I guess that it went through the dark years and survived. I guess is kind of the cool part of the story, because we had it to the success in the early '90s, and then there was some down years. It took some time to get, and to see it survive that, I guess, is probably the neatest part, because it easily could have went away then, and something else could have happened or been forged. But to see it stick through that and last now and still be part of something that's, I guess we're going on like 30 years. Yeah, 30 years, which is crazy. So it's I guess that's something we can always hold on to.
And Shep, just one for you. You coach at the grassroots level with the kids. Last 3 years, we've seen a real uptick in fan support. Are you seeing it with the kids?
Absolutely. Like, I've been coaching down here for, about 20 years. And the last 3 years, I would say, like, the favorite players of kids now are Alexander Barkov, Kachuk, Reinhardt, Ekblad, Bobrovsky. Before it was Kane, Taves, Matthews, McDavid. So it's nice that we have our own superstars for these kids to kind of look up to, emulate, and something to strive for. Like, I'm fortunate enough, I coached Shane Gostisbehere for 5 years. And, his favorite player growing up was Nick Lidstrom. And, it's like, we need his favorite player to be Gus Forsling. That's the type of mentality you need. And it's starting to come to fruition here.
How many kids in the World Juniors this year from South Florida?
I don't know.
5, 3 to 5.
A couple.
Yeah.
At least 3.
It was 4.
Yeah.
I think it's
All right, he said 3 to 5.
3, 5, 4.
3 to 5.
But anyway, it's growing.
It was 4, Billy.
A lot of that, Shep and Peter started a lot of that, didn't you? Yeah.
Well, we've coached for a while down here, and it's nice to see the hockey at the youth level grow. It just is.
Got a question for Tom. You got to see Matthew grow up and turn into the player he is. I mean, how much does it mean to see him do what he did for the team that you played your most games with?
Well, it's a small world, that's for sure. Matthew's a great player, but he's an even better person. That's what I admire about him. He's a family guy. He cares about people. For him to come down here and do what he's been doing is not surprising, because he's a great player. I think this team is what this team exactly needed, is a player like that. I think every team needs a player like Matthew, and there's only one Matthew, and I can tell you, I tried. I tried. I think the Panthers are very fortunate that Matthew chose them because of the way he plays. I talked earlier about the high compete. You have skill. He's not the prettiest skater, but his hockey sense is off the charts. He gets to where he needs to go, and he does what he needs to do to get things done. He likes to stir it up a little bit as well.